Sunday, Bloody Sunday, the 1971 film from John Schlesinger, is a much tamer film than its title would suggest. For the acclaim he received from his previous work, the X-rated Midnight Cowboy, Sunday, Bloody Sunday feels a bit more like atonement than a reinvention. Midnight Cowboy is an incredible film, but one that is brash and often lewd in its representation of homosexual relationships. Sunday, on the other hand, presents a non-traditional relationship with the banality of a Sunday afternoon. All of this leads to Sunday, Bloody Sunday being a more intimate film and maybe even more important. One that doesn't rely on spectacle or high stakes, but instead rests on the laurels of the incredible performances throughout. It also makes this film a slower one. It's harder to connect with Sunday, Bloody Sunday because there are no huge stakes, no over-the-top reveals, and the entire thing is just propelled by dialogue and acting. It's a movie that feels deeply unconcerned with whether or not the viewer is entertained. Because of this, Sunday, Bloody Sunday can be difficult to watch at times. I found it hard staying engaged with this film as the majority of the plot is meandering between this polyamorous throuple as they navigate the complexities of their relationship. But I do believe this is the point. We are not meant to be shocked or even meaningfully engaged for the entire runtime. Instead, we are supposed to feel like either side of Bob's romantic encounters, strung along, waiting for a change. Hey everyone, I am Joe from Create Context. This is the Criterion 40. Each week we look at a different film in Criterion's 40th anniversary collection. This film is obviously Sunday, Bloody Sunday. Sunday, Bloody Sunday follows the life of Bob Elkin, played spectacularly by Marie Head. Bob is an artist, a free spirit, and a bisexual, something that wasn't represented on screen a lot in the 70s. He has a running relationship with the film's other two leads, Peter Finch as Daniel and Glenda Jackson as Alex. Daniel is a successful doctor, and Alex is a divorced woman who, while successful, has become disenfranchised or disillusioned with her corporate career. Both know of the existence of one another, but they both allow the tryst to continue out of fear of losing Bob. Bob is an interesting character study, and he is delightfully well written. He is younger than both the characters, very blasé about the entire situation, and perfectly content to leave things as they are. He is charming, but there's nothing about him that either person would or should find irresistible. But he has that ineffable charm about him, be it either from his youth or his laid-back sensibilities. Seeing him play off of each lover, Alex and Daniel, it's reminiscent of relationships we see all the time in our real life. He's no catch, but the people entangled with him seem to be enraptured by his charm. From the outside, it's painfully clear for us to see that neither of these people are a good match for Bob. Or rather, Bob is not a good match for anybody, specifically at this point in his life. But both Daniel and Alex can't help but fight for a relationship that they know will only end in sadness. Each character brings something different to their relationship with Bob, and these are themes that are almost universal. Daniel grew up in a strict Jewish household, and he sees his relationship with Bob as an escape from that. Not just the idea of being in a homosexual relationship, but the idea of being in a relationship that won't lead to all the conventionalities that we would typically see in a relationship, marriage, a family, kids, all that stuff. Daniel is almost acting out of rebellion by being with Bob. He knows this relationship would go nowhere and that no one would approve, but he stays with him anyway. He has done the pragmatic thing his entire life. He went to medical school. He stayed with his church. He has appeased his family and his religion in everything except for this one facet of his life. Even though he knows it won't end well, Daniel fights to keep this relationship together either out of comfort or fear of losing Bob. Alex, conversely, uses this relationship as a coping mechanism for her disillusionment with her entire life. After a failed marriage, Alex found herself in a career she doesn't love. She yearns to quit and eventually does in the film, but for Alex, she is almost incapable of doing the pragmatic thing. She is always kind of searching for something better in her life, and she is willing to be uncomfortable in order to find it. Her relationship with Bob is not one of convenience or rebellion, but one of her own choosing. It's finally with this relationship with Bob, though, that Alex learns maybe she should be a little more pragmatic in her choices. Choose things that are good for her, not just good for her situation. And this is really the major theme of Sunday Bloody Sunday. Though the film presents an unconventional relationship, it also presents some universal truths about love and life. All good things must come to an end, and despite the care and love both characters feel for Bob, they know that same level of commitment will never be reciprocated to them. Bob is just incapable of providing that level of commitment that both characters need. It's a place almost everyone has found themselves in, be it in a relationship, a career, or something else. There's always a circumstance where the hard thing, leaving, is also the right thing. This movie ends with a strange monologue from Daniel where he actually breaks the fourth wall and looks directly into the camera. He waxes poetic about his relationship with Bob before stating that while Bob may not be exactly what he was looking for, someone courageous and brave, he was something unexplainable.
All my life I've been looking for somebody courageous, resourceful. He's not it. But something. We were something.
Their relationship may not have been a grand whirlwind romance. It may not have been the type of love that lasts for generations, but it was something, and that something is important. Sunday Bloody Sunday may not be the most masterful piece of the Criterion 40 collection. It may not be the one that I connected with the most. It doesn't have the sharp political observation of something like Do the Right Thing. It doesn't have the decade-spanning influences that something like 8.5 does, but it is something important. Thank you guys for hanging out at the Criterion 40. Again, I'm Joe from Create Context. If you like this, we do this every week, and we do a weekly movie minute every week on whatever like the biggest movie is. So please like, subscribe. That would be super cool, and I'll see you guys next time. The Criterion 40 is a Create Context podcast. Head over to createcontext.com for more film, reviews, and analysis. Our theme song is Hindsight by Shiloh, provided by the Riot Games Creator Safe playlist. We drop new episodes every Tuesday at 8 a.m.